Hello everyone. Today we are discuss our new chapter, that is the Pharmacy Act 1948. Okay, I am Harshita Deshmukh, working as a lecturer in Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Research for Girls. So we are discuss about this chapter content. Okay, first we see the objectives, definitions, Pharmacy Council of India, and that contain the constitutions and functions. Then we see the education regulations, and the next part, that is the State Pharmacy Council of India and Joint Pharmacy Council of India, and also it contain its constitution and its functions. Okay, the next part is the registration of pharmacist, means that is the whose name is entered into the register pharmacist, and after we also can remove. So okay, then we discuss their offense and penalties. So we start the our new chapter. Okay, so first part is the introduction, that is the recommendation of DEC committee, then recommendation by the Health Survey and Development Committee. Then the Pharmacy Act came into force in 4th March 1948. Then the next part is the objective. Before the objective, the introduction is the discuss in brief. Okay, before the independence there were no legal control over the pharmacy profession. Okay, so it is discussed in our previous chapter, that is the origin and nature of pharmaceutical legislation in India. Okay, there are no any legal control, and they are having a very drawbacks in our pharmacy profession. So they required a committee or legislation in India and in our pharmacy profession. Then the Drug Inquiry Committee or Chopra Committee was established. Drug Inquiry Committee means the DEC committee. Okay, or also it is called as the Chopra Committee, and it provides the recommendation for the smooth control on pharmacy profession. Okay, also it regulate and control the pharmacy profession in India, and the central government is passed the Pharmacy Act in 1948, and there are following objects which are seen. Okay, so it is the first object, that is the to rise or improve the status of pharmacy profession in India. Okay, so means what, the pharmacy profession status having improved or rising in India. Then to provide the uniform education and training to the pharmacist, means what, they're having the required knowledge to train the pharmacist in our the pharmacy field or pharmacy profession. Okay, and giving the proper knowledge or education to them. Okay, then to maintain a control over the person which is entered in pharmacy profession by providing the registration, means what, they maintain and control the person which is entered in the pharmacy profession by the providing registration. Okay, then the person is entered in the pharmacy profession having sufficient knowledge about the pharmacy profession, and this knowledge is given by the Pharmacy Act. Means what, the person which is entered in our pharmacy profession or field, they having sufficient and uniform knowledge, and this knowledge is given by the Pharmacy Act. Okay, then this act provide a provision from constitution of the PCI, SPC and JPC. Means what, this act provide a constitution or provision form of constitution. Means what, the PCI means Pharmacy Council of India, SPC means State Pharmacy Council of India, and JPC means Joint State Pharmacy Council of India. And then next object, that is the Pharmacy Council of India and State Pharmacy Council of India maintain the register, and this register consists the name and address of the registered pharmacist. Okay, so we discuss the our next point, that will be the definitions. Okay, so first definition in this under Act, Pharmacy Act, we see that Central Council means the Pharmacy Council of India. Okay. Then next definition, that is the Central Register. This is the register and which is maintained by the Central Council, and this register for only for the pharmacist. Then next definition is the register pharmacist means what? A person whose name for time being entered in the register of pharmacist of the state in which he is for the time being residing or carrying on his profession or business of the pharmacy means what? The person whose name is entered into the register, and this register carried the only by the pharmacist name and which is for the their profession or a business. Okay, only those pharmacists which should enter into the register, and this register is maintained by the Central Council. The next definition is the University Grant Commission means what? The University Grant Commission established under the Section 4 of the University Grant Commission 1956, and this University Grant Commission is also known as the UGC, that is the established in our Section 4 of the University Grant Commission Act 1956. Okay, so we discuss the next definition, that is the Indian University. Okay, this means university within the meaning of Section 3 of the UGC Act 1956, and it includes such other institution established by or under a central act as the central government may by notification in the official gazette specifically in this behalf. Okay, means what? Indian University mean a university within used Section 3 of this UGC Act 1956, and it includes the other institution and which is established over by the Central Act or Central Government Act, and that notification is also included in our official gazette. Okay, then repeat. Okay, means what? The any person of Indian origin who on account of civil disputes in area now forming part of Burma, Sri Lanka or Uganda or any other country has after the fourth day, sorry, 14th day of April 1957 left or has been displaced from his place or residence in such area who has since been residing in India means what? Which person having Indian and origin of new area or another area, they having other country, if they having other country or residents of the other country which is displaced in the other area, and also he be residing in our India. Okay, the next definition is displaced person means what? This person having account to the dominations of India and Pakistan or account of the civil disturbance or the fear of such disturbance in area now forming part of Pakistan has on other the first day of March 1947 left or been displaced for his place of residence in such area and who has since the been residing in India, and the person who has account of the civil disturbance of the fear of such disturbances in area now forming a part of Bangladesh has after 14th day of April 1957 but become or before the 25th day of March 1971 has left or has been displaced from his place of residence in such area who since then been residing in India means what? This person having the setting of the India or Pakistan and having the disturbances in the ruling area or other persons which are from the Pakistan, and he says that after the first day March of 1947, he displaced the area or residence and he is residing in our India. And also there are the very disturbances after the distribution of the Bangladesh after the 14th day of April 1957 and before the 25th day of 1971, and he displays our residence area and they having residence in our India. Okay, so we see our next definition, that is the medical practitioner means what? A person holding qualification granted by an authority which is specified or notified under the section 3 of Indian Medical Degree Act 1916 or specified in the schedule to the Indian Medical Council Act 1956, or a person registered or eligible for the registration in India or medical register in India of the state meant by the registration of person practicing modern scientific system of the medicine means what? A person which having the qualification or granted the authority or specified or notified in our the under section 3 of Indian Medical Degree Act 1916, or also his name or qualification which is specified in the schedule to the Indian Medical Council Act 1956. Okay, then the person which is registered or eligible for the registration in our Indian medical register. Okay, and that state the registration of person which is practicing the modern scientific system of the medicines. Then the medical practitioner, next point or next definition part, that is the person registered in a medical register of the state who allowed not falling within the subclause A or B which is discussed before. This part is declared by the general or specific order by the state government in this behalf as a person practicing the modern scientific system of the medicine for the purpose of this act means what? A person which is registered in our medical register and which contain the state. Okay, and this is the general order or special order by the state government, and this person which is practicing in our modern scientific system of medicine for the purpose of this act. And then the a person who is engaged in the practice of veterinary medicine and who possesses the qualification approved by the state government. And also medical practitioner is also described or also defined as a person which is engaged by the veterinary medicine, or also he practice in the veterinary medicine, and also he possess a qualification and which is approved by the state government. Okay, then we see our the next part of this chapter, that is the Pharmacy Council of India. Pharmacy Council of India is also known as the Central Council of India. Okay, and this Pharmacy Act provides the constitution of the PCI means the Pharmacy Council of India under the section 3 of chapter 1st by the central government. The first PCI is constituted in our 1949, and this reconstruction is after the each 5 years. Okay, so it consists the following members or different types of member, that is the first elected member, then nominated member, and then we discuss the ex officio members. Okay, so first we see of the first elected members. There are the 6 members which is elected from the UGC means our University Grant Commission or the teaching staff of Indian University among the at least one of the each teacher of each subject, that is the pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy, pharmacology or pharmacy. Okay, means there are 6 members elected from the UGC that they are having a teaching staff of the Indian University, and among at least 6, one will be the teacher and the subject will be the pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy or pharmacology. Okay, then one member is elected by the Medical Council of India. Okay, then one member is represented each state which is elected from the members of the State Pharmacy Council of India. Okay, one from the state and which is elected by the state council and whose name is entered into the registered pharmacist of the State Pharmacy Council of India. Okay, then the six members are nominated by the central government and at least four shall be the registered pharmacist. Means what? Four six members will be the nominated by the central government and at least six that the four will be the registered pharmacist. Okay. Then the one member is represented each state which is nominated by the state government. He shall be the registered pharmacist. Means what? One member representative of each state and which will be the nominated by the state government and he is the pharmacist. Okay. Then one member from the UGC or All India Council for Technical Education. Means what? AICTE. Okay. Then we discuss about our next, that is the ex-officio members. That is the first DGHS, means Director of General of Health Services in India, then Director of Central Drug Laboratory, then Director of Drug Control Department in India. Okay, then we see this part, that is the executive committee. Executive committee means for the efficient administration of the Pharmacy Act, that is the Pharmacy Council of India, constituted in a new committee is known as the executive committee. They contain the president, vice president and five other members which is elected by the central council from its member, that is the PCI members. Okay, that is the first we see the members. Okay, so the president and vice presidents are the elected from the member of the PCI. Okay, that is the members of the PCI. The president and vice president which is the hold in office 5 years or until the success year. They hold their office 5 years or until their success year. If the vacancy in the PCI is fulfilled by the freshly elected and nominated members, they can hold in office for the remaining period whose place he takes. Means there are vacancy is fulfilled by the freshly or nominated members and they can hold the office which is the remaining time whose place he takes. Okay. Then the nominated and elected members may be resign at any time in return to be president of the PCI. Means what? They having the resignation to the president of the PCI, which also the member of nominated and elected member of the PCI. Okay. Then any person shall be deemed if seat is vacant, he is absent for the 3 consultative meetings without any reason. Means what? Any person shall be deemed if the seat is vacant. There are seat vacancy and also he is absent for the meeting. Okay, consultative meeting without any reason, so he is deemed. Okay, then our constitution part, that is the president and vice president of the PCI, that are the members of the committee. The president of the PCI is the chairperson of the executive committee and the 5 other members are elected from the members of the PCI. Means what? The president of the PCI is the chairperson of the executive committee and other 5 members, that is the elected from the members of the PCI. Then the members of executive committee which can hold office for 5 years and executive committee perform the following functions and duty which is given by the PCI or Pharmacy Council of India. Then the constitutions and which are seen above below, and the vacancy is fulfilled, they are elected and nominated members with full pay. Okay. Then also staff remuneration and staff allowance for the reserved seats or elected seats or nominated members. Okay. Then the next part, that is the functions of the first, that is the to provide minimum standard of education which is required for the pharmacist. Means what? They give the minimum standard of education which is having to their pharmacy profession or which is required for the pharmacist. Also to regulate the minimum standard of the education These educations which are given to all people, they will be the regulate and to maintain a register which containing the name and address of the registered pharmacist. Whose persons which will be the name is entered into the register, they contain their name and address also, and that is known as the registered pharmacist. Okay, then the PCI is the fixed allowance and the remuneration which is paid it to the member of the PCI. PCI also fixed allowance and also the remuneration which will be paid by the PCI members, and the PCI has a power to appoint a person which can act as a secretary or treasurer. Okay, so they are having a power, okay, own power, and they also appoint a person as a secretary or treasurer. Okay, thank you.